What's up, guys? Welcome back to, another live stream. And we're going to be talking today about a micro viral video. And if you're brand new and you're wondering what the heck is a micro viral video, you're about to find out. All right. And we're going to actually talk about one of our students actually that took our 3-step formula and applied it and was able to get a video that went micro viral. But better than that, he's got several videos right now that are in the thousands. And let me just kind of back up and let you know that he was actually getting about 300 views per video and now crushing it. So who here wants to hear about this little micro viral thing? Let us know in the comments. Scotty, why don't you get in on this conversation here? Let's get talking here about what we want to share here today. Before we do though, Scotty, we should let people know that today we're going to share, but tomorrow we're going to go really deep. And we've actually got a full workshop planned for tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is February 19th. So if you're watching this either before February 19th or on February 19th, or even after, you can go there and you can probably sign up for a future one. But we're going to be breaking this down in detail in those 3 parts. But today we're going to actually cover some of that, but we're also just going to highlight this one micro viral video. So Scotty, where do you want to start?
Let's backtrack a little bit and let's start with who we're talking about, which is John. We'll pull him up in a second so you can meet John. First time we met John was when we started the 1K Collective, the beta group. So he was an OG. Came into there. We had never talked to John before that. His whole niche is firearm training. And when he came to us, he was, on average getting between 200 to 300 views. He had a couple videos hit a couple thousand, but nothing that really went any micro viral. And he's been doing it for a couple years. So he decided to give us a try, and to his not even surprise, I think he knew it because he's determined to kind of get after it. One of the things with him that I love is consistency. We talk about consistency. He put, and you love saying this, taking a lot of swings. He took a lot of swings. But the crazy thing is, even though he took a lot of swings before that, when he started the 1K Collective with us, it was almost, and this is not for everyone, but almost instantaneous for him that he kind of started getting some views coming in. And the whole course of that 1K Collective, he was averaging over 1,000 views. The video we're going to show you that went micro viral, that wasn't the only one. He had multiple of them, and actually one right now is blowing up for him. But the biggest thing, and I know this is what you want me to go into, is how did he generate this? What was the main thing that really helped him? Right. And there's a couple things
there is. But before you even go there, I think we have to underscore with what you just said, because you kind of you went over it. And I think we can't just let that go. The difference between, and get, quiet that ice down over there too a little bit. So
all right. Hey, my cold brew.
No,
come on.
No. Just
needed that, man.
Just get the ice, cool it down a little bit over here, jingling and stuff. Come on. What are you doing here?
Hey, if you guys like cold brew, put him.
We're on a live stream here. Come on. And if you guys don't know that Scotty's my son, by the way, so that's why I can talk to him that way. Anyway, what I wanted to highlight was, and I almost was going to do this, this live stream about this because it's so important. And I know we get people that are like, I don't know why I'm not getting views. I don't know why I'm only getting 100 views or 300 views. And then you go and look. We've had students that have asked us to do this, and then they know we don't sugarcoat it. It's like, you've only posted 5 videos, right? It's like, what do you expect? Scotty and I, yesterday, I was at Scotty's place and we were going over some old videos of Scotty reporting on our statistics on this channel. And guess what? We were getting in the first 24 hours, 5 views, 10 views. And we're like, oh my gosh, we got to share this with people, because the whole thing, it boils down to this. You have to keep taking swings. We talk about this a lot in the 1K Collective. It's like, you can't just show up and go, oh, I guess it's not going to work. Or, oh, I got to start going into a different niche. Or I got to, what's the problem? Why isn't it working? You've only done 5 videos. And I'm not saying you, but I'm saying most of the time, you just haven't taken enough swings. You got up to the batter's box 5 times and you wonder why you didn't hit a home run, right? Like, we got to take more swings. So that's what I wanted to highlight, Scotty, because that's one of the secrets, guys. Not one of the secrets we're going to cover, but that's one of the big secrets that people don't talk about. It's like, take more freaking swings.
Yeah,
okay.
And when we say that too, that doesn't mean, okay, every day you need to post a video. We're not even saying that, but the consistency needs to be like, if you were to say, okay, if there was a magic number of how many times to post a week that I could definitely do, Scott and Scotty, what would you recommend me to do? Mm-hmm. I would tell you right now, 3 a week. I would say 3 a week. Now, if you don't have time for that, I would do at least 2 a week. And like, we're not going to go into this now because we could go in a whole rant on this, but the way that we have structured our videos now, and again, guys, is all in our 1K or 100K roadmap as well. If you guys want that, comment 100K. In that alone, we talk about building the audience, which is through these videos, and simplifying how you're creating these videos, right? So we're trying to simplify this to make it as simple as possible, where you're not taking hours editing, hours recording, like any of that. Heck, we don't even have a script. A lot of people spend hours just creating a script. We don't even script it at all. If you want to script anything, you script the first 30 seconds. That's it. But anyway, that's getting a little off topic.
Which, by the way, we are going to go into depth on these 3 areas. And the 3 areas we're going to be talking about, we're going to cover them here today too, but we're going to do them briefly because we want to highlight exactly what John has done. I did want to bring something up here though. Someone asked if we do shout outs. I'm not going to go into the whole shout out thing. There's a whole thing going on right now.
About that yesterday.
Not going to mention any names. Someone made like $5,000 or $6,000 for charging like $25 to give someone a shout out. Please don't pay for that service. Don't pay for anyone's service that's going to shout you out, because if you get subscribers from those people, they're just doing it because they're nice and they want to be nice to you, but they aren't interested in your content. So please don't do that. All right.
And that goes along with that. That also goes along with sub for sub or follow for follow. Don't. There's nothing positive you're going to get out of that.
There's zero positive other than the person that's going to give you the shout out that's charging you, they're going to have some money in their bank account. Don't do it. And I'm not going to go into that, but I did want to say, okay, I am going to give a little shout out, but not necessarily to say, go check these people out, but the outdoor couple. Okay. Now the outdoor couple says, I went from 1 million views in 48 hours to 60,000 views in the last month. But then you went on to say this, I publish 4 to 6 videos a month and 300 shorts. I think the 300 shorts is the problem. I'm just going to be blunt.
Yep.
You know, people wonder, they're like, why shouldn't I do shorts? Because you're building an audience of shorts viewers. That's why, right? We've got a student of ours who she teaches fluency in language, right? Like how to speak better English. And she started with doing shorts and she built up about 8,000 subscribers. Then she was struggling to get 100 views on a video. So listen, that could be the problem. It's great to say, oh, I had 1 million views in 1 month. Yeah, of shorts views. What, 20 seconds, 30 seconds, if you're lucky. And then they subscribe to your channel and you're wondering why they're not watching your regular long form content. That's probably why.
Yep.
So if I was you, if I was anyone right now doing shorts, but they want long form, I'd pause that for right now. Now I wouldn't get rid of them. You don't have to delete them unless they're not related to your niche. You don't have to delete them. I would archive them or just let them be.
Yeah. I mean, you can look on our channel. We had some in the beginning. We did, I think, like 15 to 20. Yep. And then we stopped after that because it wasn't even just this channel. On multiple channels, we noticed that it was stunting our growth. And it's funny. We had someone on here, a follower of ours, who built up 750,000 subscribers. And they even said, they came on our live and they even said, on my long form, I can't even get 300 views.
It's crazy.
And it's all because of the shorts, because it's a whole different feed. So yeah, I like that you said that, because someone said here, okay, 3 per week long form or a mix of long form, shorts, and community posts. I would say shorts, get rid of them. Ignore those. Okay.
Just pause them right now. Put them on the shelf.
3 per week of long form. If you can manage that, absolutely. Community post is a whole separate thing that we do. You could do 3 a day if you want to do of that. Now, I will say community post isn't going to be more of like getting new reach. That's just going to be more to kind of keep the relationship going with your fans, your community, because 90%, we've done polls, I would say maybe a little less, maybe like 80 to 85% are subscribers. So, but here's the thing. The good thing with community posts, they don't hurt your channel. If anything, it helps you a little bit. So I would, whenever you want, you don't have to stick to a schedule. If you're like, hey, I want to put a post out, do it. You could post a video and then post a community post. It's not going to harm anything because it's not even really an algorithm. It's more just for your subscribers. But I do think in the future, they will start rolling that out a little bit more to where it's starting to get organic push. But we haven't noticed that yet.
Here's the thing I want to say to this before we're going to show John's stuff here in a second. Here's what I'm going to say this. If you have time to do 300 shorts, how many long form videos could you do if you didn't do the 300 shorts? I want you to think about that for a second. The thing is with shorts is we think like we're busy and we're posting. So that's good because we're taking action and we're putting stuff out there. And the more we get out there, the more chances we got. It's just, you got to think about it. And they actually, when it put in here, the outdoor couple, almost 95,000 subs and average 1,500 views on long videos. Exactly. Right. 95,000 subs. And I bet you a lot of those subs came from short form. Now, if you had 95,000 people that were in your niche that watched your long form that averaged 3 to 5 minutes on a video, you'd get a lot more views probably. Right. So you got to be careful in doing that. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share there. And also why we are doing this, we're going to give a little call to action here. If you guys want to join us tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. All right. 8 p.m. Eastern time, Wednesday, February 19th, we're going to be doing a private free workshop where we're going to be breaking down the 3-step formula. Now, we did this about 2 weeks ago. The thing is, we've updated it because we found that the formula that we taught, it was good, but we needed to refine it. We needed to make it where it was more where you can implement it easier and faster. So we've updated it. Probably around 25-30% of this is brand new, maybe even a little bit more. So if you're interested in hanging out with us, it's a free workshop. It is going to be live. We are going to have a replay, hopefully, if the tech works. And we're going to keep that up till Sunday night. So if you're interested, make sure that you register and just put workshop in the comments, or you can just check the description and it should be in there as well. All right. So with that being said, let's get on with it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to add this. There's our buddy, John. John is number one. He is a go-getter. All right. And what I mean by that is like nothing fancy. I mean, look at his set, guys. Okay. Look at his set. He's got, it looks like a wood flag behind him, American flag. He's got some things on the right-hand side that let you know that he's probably in his gun room or there's a gun locker there, right? And he talks about firearms training. That's what he does. And by the way, I also want to highlight this. People ask me all the time, they're like, what do I choose for a niche? If you're already doing something, like John was already doing firearms training. Now he took that and he brought it online, and now he's helping people online, reaching a bigger audience. He's got ebooks that he sells. He does trainings. He's doing a workshop coming up. All of that stuff this here is helping to feed that as well. So just to kind of throw that out there, if you guys are at all, I mean, I don't care if you're into crafts and you teach a craft and you're teaching like, 7 people in a craft class at home. Think about doing it online and think about starting to build that YouTube channel. Let us know in the comments too. What is your niche? Let us know in the comments. What is your niche that you are publishing content on? And I know if you guys pronounce it niche, then put your niche down below. And then you can also, if you say niche, then you can put the niche down below, whichever one. We'll take either one. Just go ahead and put that down below.
I did want to mention this too, because I don't know if you knew this. I messaged John the other day because he was the one who gave us all the stats for this, obviously this live today. He also went on to share with me that he is doing his own masterclass, all right, like master course, and he's already sold 9 out of 13 spots.
Great.
Yep. So he's already crushing it. And like you said, the ebooks and all that, which is a whole separate thing. But this, besides just views, guys, we're doing way more than you. Like John is past just views. Okay. Even if he only gets 1,000 views on a video, you don't understand what that can do for your business. Again, that's all in our 100K roadmap. If you follow that roadmap, you're going to see at the bottom where the M in our ARM method, which is the money. Wrong one. Nope, wrong one. Just comment 100K for that. And again, it's our ARM method, right? So we have our attention, building that audience up. The R is our relationship, building that relationship with your community. And so for him, it's, anyone in the firearm, whether training, whether it's, learning yourself, or you could be another trainer as well. Like he's teaching different aspects of that community. And then M is the money. How are we able to monetize besides just making money on YouTube ads? Because everyone thinks, oh, I'm a YouTuber, I'm just going to make YouTube ad money and I'm going to be rolling. No, it don't work like that. Now, I will say, which I don't think we pulled that up. I should have pulled, maybe while you're talking after, I'll add it up. But okay. John did on his AdSense, which we don't focus on, since joining that 1K, the 1K collective, I think he gained, I want to say like $300 to $400 a month on that.
No, it was like $450 versus like $100. So yeah, he's gone up there too. So, all right. If you're looking at the graph up there in the right-hand corner, let me just go ahead and see if I can't bring my mouse in here, and hopefully you guys can see it. Can you see my mouse, Scotty?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So yeah, if you look right here, we did some split testing, right? But then, this was, let's see, it was published on the 13th, and you can see here, it did okay in the beginning, right? 1,000 views, whatever. About the 4th day is when it really picked up. All right. And the thing is like, we have to understand that it could take 3 to 4 days before the algorithm picks it up. We have another student, Russ, who it's like clockwork, that he gets a push about 24 hours later, and then he'll get another push maybe 10 hours after that. So you have these little waves. So you have to just be patient with it, but you also have to try to get it right in the beginning. That's why the things we're going to be talking about tomorrow night in the workshop are the 3 things that really, really are the most important. But the first thing that's the most important is going to be the title. Okay. And the title is going to be the thing that we want to make sure we have right. So I'm just going to talk about this title here for a second. All right. The surprising secret of being accurate with a handgun. It's easier than you think. Now, this was an outlier title. Okay. And if you guys don't know what an outlier title is, it's very simple. It's basically a title that has done well for someone else, whether it's in the same niche or we call it a niche crossover. It's a title that's done well, that they didn't have a lot of subscribers, but they got a lot of views. Okay. And I say a lot of views, like the ratio could be, if they have 1,000 subscribers, they got 30,000 views or more. Right. So in this case, the surprising secret. So right away, that gets your attention. But the thing that we need to understand here, and this is something that we noticed inside of our 1K collective when we had to get it fixed really, really quickly with our students, because the thing that they were missing is, and a lot of people do this, is you're not signaling the algorithm. And so what I mean by that is inside of that title, the surprising secret of being accurate with a handgun. Okay. Handgun is very, very important that it's put in here, because why? He's a firearms trainer. Okay. Accurate, firearm, handgun, they all go together. Okay. So the surprising secret, that's just the curiosity piece. The accurate with a handgun, that's let's signal the audience. Let's signal the algorithm and say, hey, we want to get put out there in front of people that are into firearms. And then it's easier than you think. You're like, oh, I want to know what that is. Right. So we have these different elements that are inside of that title. But if you don't put in there, really important. So make sure you make either a mental note or write this baby down. You need to make sure that you are signaling the algorithm to let the algorithm know who is your audience. Now, if you don't know who your audience is, that's going to be step 1 for you. Okay. And that's something we go really, really in extensive detail inside of our 1K collective, because it's super important. If we don't do that, we're just putting something out here on camping. And then we do another one over here on fixing a toilet. And then we do one over here on remodeling something else. And then we go over here and we start talking about flying a kite. And then we can't do that. Okay. What John is known for, and the name of his channel is Firearms Training by John, right? So it's firearms training. That's what he does. Okay. And that's why I wanted you guys in the comments, let us know, what is your niche? And if you don't know what it is, we got to figure that out first. Okay. Because the videos that you're putting up aren't going to really matter, because we have to go ahead and we have to train the algorithm. We have to, and that's what we talked about here in the beginning. It's like, if we only put out 5 videos and you're like, but Scott, I put out 5 videos and I talked all about firearms and they're not giving me any traffic. Slow down. We got to do more, right? Because it's going to take some time. It's not just going to happen overnight. Okay. You can't just keep doing something wrong and expect it to work. So what I mean by that is if you're just randomly putting stuff out there, we haven't developed a strategy yet for basically targeting the audience that we want to attract. Does that make sense? Let us know if that makes sense. Scotty, what do you want to add to that?
No, I think you're 100% on all of that. I think being specific to exactly what your niche is, and that goes back to, like you said, step one is you need to validate that niche. So number one, you need to identify it. I think it's the number one part. Before you validate, you got to identify what is the niche you're trying to hit. I see so many people that are like, oh, well, I want to talk about home decor, and I want to talk about renovating, and I want to talk about makeup, and I want to like all over the place. I'm like, whoa, pick one. Here's the thing. If you just crush one and you just keep, train the algorithm for that, once you grow your channel, you can start getting a little bit more general and start adding in some sub niches that are still related to that, right? Like you can still add those things in later, but if you don't get anything in the beginning because think about this, you said it earlier, you're training the algorithm, right? So if you're teaching YouTube to talk about fishing and then talk about camping and then talk about firearms and then talk about like whatever, YouTube's like, what? I mean, think about it like realistically, who is YouTube really going to push that to? Mm-hmm. They would try to push it to someone that fits all 4 categories. That's hard.
Yeah.
Right. Or if you just picked one thing, hockey, and they only push everyone to hockey, what do you think eventually your next video, 90% of the push is probably going to go towards hockey audience, or eventually it's going to go towards the hockey audience because that's all you're focused on. But once you're putting all these other ones, you're confusing YouTube more. So when people says, yeah, YouTube doesn't know my content. Yeah, no crap. They don't know your content. You're not letting them. Right. You're making it harder for the algorithm to do its job. So identify the niche first, and then niche validation is making sure that, there's demand for that. Is there other channels that are getting views from this? I could tell you that in John's niche, there is. I've looked it up. There's a bunch in different angles into firearm training. There is a bunch, and it's been around for years. John's not the first one to do it, right? It's been around for years. So it's validated. Now find your way in. Give you another example. Us. We didn't start, like, before we did this channel, okay? We started this channel 9 months ago and started talking about YouTube. Are we the first ones to talk about how to grow on YouTube? No. Right? We're not.
No.
And here's the other thing. A lot of people are saying, yeah, but I am doing 100 videos and I am posting this. Maybe you have to find an angle in. For us, it was over 40 creators, small creators or small channels. Like, we had to find angles in. We even had some that were like, no, we don't want to go down that route. Remember the Gen X? We tried Gen X. We got a lot of views from that, guys. And then we're like, not the right audience. We don't really want them. No offense. Now, I'm not saying no offense that we don't want you guys, but I'm saying we started going into more of like a retirement kind of thing, and it wasn't the audience that we were truly trying to hit.
Yeah.
Right. So that's another thing is maybe you are putting the content up, but maybe you're not putting the right angle in. Maybe you have to try a different angle. I'll give you a perfect example. We talked about Russ earlier. Russ is all about food delivery. He started food delivery talking about DoorDash, Uber Eats. There's another, what's the other one? Like GoPuff, like all these different ones. He probably did 5-6 different food deliveries, right? Great. His niche is food deliveries. He knows his niche, but he talked about all these different ones. I looked it up and I said, the most that's getting the most attention right now is either DoorDash or Uber Eats, mainly Uber Eats for videos. So I said, hey, why don't you lean in just to Uber Eats? About a video or two later, he started averaging over 1,000 views a video because he identified what already he knew the niche was, but he niched it down.
Yep.
right? So it's another thing that, again, you need to understand with your content.
And you got to validate it. Like you said, you have to figure out, like, is there someone that's already published in this niche or in this sub niche, and did they get views, not just one-off views, right? We have to figure that out, because if not, you're trying to get attention where there's not attention to be given, right? Like, so you have to understand that. All right. But the one thing I wanted to point out here, Scotty, before we get into the analytics of his screenshot that he sent in, just to show you the power of a micro viral video. And if you guys are just joining us, we're talking about John here, who's one of our 1K collective students, but we're really just trying to highlight that, number one, not a fancy setup. No. Okay. So number one, and let us know in the comments, how long are you spending on editing your videos? Just curious. Just let us know in the comments.
Yeah. On average, how much time you spend to edit?
On average. Okay. So John's sitting there in his office of his firearms training place, right? And he's shooting a video, talking head, video. And I'm going to let you guys know. And I told John, right? Like, John wants us to be brutally honest. He wants to get better. And that's just to me, that's just like how we all grow, right? It's like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. If I want to help you, I'm going to tell you what I see. And I'm going to say, if you want to fix it, great. If you don't, you don't have to. John was getting some views, right? Even on this video, he's got some views, 65,000 now. Okay. But his intro was good, but it wasn't great. All right. He's also looking up because he's looking at his cheat sheet that he had, right? So we told him, move it down so we're eye level, right? So he's still improving, even though he's got this video that took off. He's got other videos, got 5,000, 10,000. He's got one that's got 19,000. He posted one yesterday. It's over 7,000, right? So he's posting videos, and he's not trying to be perfect, but he is willing to try to improve. And that's the thing. We all get stuck to where we're like, I don't want to do it until it's perfect. I want to edit it, make sure everything is perfect. Yesterday I posted a video. I was in a hurry because I had other things that I had to do, right? So I quickly put it together. I probably wish I would have had another 15 minutes to throw maybe a few extra screenshots in or whatever, but I said, you know what? I'm going to let it go because something's better than nothing. And you know what? That video is over 2,500 views already. It beat our mark of 1,000 views. That's our benchmark. That's what we're still shooting for, even on this channel. All right. So what I wanted to highlight here was, number one, title, super important. Make sure that you signal the algorithm. Again, we're going to go into this in great detail tomorrow. So again, if you're interested in joining us, make sure you put workshop in the comments and you can register there. It is a free workshop. It'll probably go for about 90 minutes to a couple hours. We're going to actually leave time for Q&A as well. So if you're interested, make sure that you comment workshop. Okay. Or just go to the description, and by then it might be in the description, the link. But I wanted to highlight that that's the big thing, right? If we don't get that right, thumbnail isn't going to matter. Okay. Although the thumbnail is really important, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow night.
Yep.
But here's the deal. No one's going to see your thumbnail if we ain't getting impressions, right? So the first thing we got to do is, number one, we got to validate that there's traffic there. Number two, we got to take a title that has already been proven to work, and then we need to reorganize it or add our own spin on it in order to get attention. And then we can get the impressions. Once we get the impressions, then we got to work on how do we stop the scroll. We call that our scroll stoppers, right? And then what we do from there is then we got to keep them. So then we got to hook them. How do we hook them? Again, we're going to go over that tomorrow. I'm actually going to walk through a live example of me doing that in real time. That's why we're calling it a workshop. We're actually going to be workshopping some stuff here. We've got some surprises we're not going to share either that we're going to be doing for some of our live attendees. So if you guys want to join us, make sure that you do that workshop. Put it in the comments. But my point is here, John, he's just a regular dude, right? He's like me. I'm just a regular guy. I'm not like polished, right? But he's showing up authentic. He's showing up. He's got knowledge, and he's not trying to be perfect. And he's taking action. He's taking swings. And that's the big thing that I want you guys to walk away with is you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to sit there and say, I'm going to get one video up because I have to spend 6 hours on editing it. No. Let's cut that down. Let's get 2 or 3 videos up and let's edit less, right? and work on the title, work on the thumb, and work on the intro. Those are the main things. Okay. So Scotty, you want to answer that real quick? What does an impression mean?
Yeah. Impression is pretty much when it comes across someone's page. Like if someone passes that video, either whether they click on it or they don't click on it, if it comes in front of their face on mobile, desktop, wherever, that counts as an impression. So anytime it passes someone, they see it, that's an impression. And that's ultimately, like, we're trying to get a lot of impressions, because once you get more impressions in front of more faces, then it's working on the click, which is your click-through rate, and that's all thumbnail. And you get the click, and then that's what ultimately leads to a view. So impression is more of the reach. Think of it like that. Impression is your reach, which all we've dialed down to title. Title is your impressions. Your click-through rate is your thumbnail, which ultimately leads to the click.
Right.
So and that's how we kind of relay it all.
Yeah. And tomorrow we're going to actually show you how you can create simple but very, very clickable thumbnails. Okay. And you can do it in like 5 minutes. And there's some key components that we're going to be breaking down. I've actually got multiple examples of ones that did really well, but also our formula of what we use in a thumbnail to help us get above an 8 or a 10% click-through rate. We've got some that have gotten 15% click-through rate. Because here's the deal. One other thing to understand. Let's say you get 100 impressions. That means you have been displayed for someone to have the potential to click. Okay. So let's say you have 100 of those. Let's say that you're getting a 1% click-through rate. Okay. So that means out of every 100, you're going to get 1 view. Wouldn't you rather have 6 views for the same 100 impressions? Or that's a 6% click-through rate. Or would you rather have 10% maybe? Or maybe you get 15, right? So if we can increase that, what that does, it also signals the algorithm like, oh, people are clicking on this video. Huh. And then the next thing they're going to look at is, are people staying to watch the video? And then that's where the intro comes in and how to hook them. And we call it open loops. And again, we're going to cover this in detail tomorrow night. So if you're interested, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Someone asked in the comments what time. It's 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 o'clock Pacific time, and Central time, and all those other time zones. You guys will have to figure that out on your own. It's about an hour difference. Okay. So
real quick, before you go into the analytics, I want to answer one more question. It's kind of going backwards a little bit where we were earlier. Talking about, on your channel having multiple niches, right? So if you started off with too many niches and want to dial down without completely deleting your channel, what do? You drown your YouTube channel with exactly what you want it to be about. Yep. It's going to take time. And this goes the same for if you built your channel mainly on shorts. I'm not saying delete your channel. I'm saying you're just going to start feeding the algorithm as much as you can. This is why we say consistency, post as much as you can of just what the topic is. I'm going to give you an example on our other channel, Brand Creators, which is over 100,000 subscribers. It was at, what did we have? Maybe 20,000 subscribers.
20. Yeah.
Around 20,000 subscribers. That channel was about, well, first it was around Amazon. Then it actually was about building a brand.
It was actually about blogging and content creation. Yes, we went to that for a while. Yeah.
So that, okay. Which in videos weren't doing, like, we weren't even averaging 1,000 views on that. It was like a couple hundred views, right? Then pivoted to Etsy. And that's when we started really taking it serious and kind of going into it. And then within a year and a half, 2 years, got, the 75,000 subscribers to get that over 100K. So we pivoted that. And every time we pivoted, all we did was drown the algorithm with exactly what we want it to be. If it's about Etsy, you're going to see the word Etsy in there probably every time. And when I say that, I don't mean like in the fact of SEO where I'm saying word for word keywords of this and that. It's anything that is around that niche that I want to be in. So if it's around Etsy, I'm probably going to say Etsy in there. I might say Etsy sellers. I might say Etsy shop. I'm going to mention all different aspects of Etsy, but the main niche is Etsy. Now, if we weren't getting any growth off that, then we might niche it down a little bit more into Etsy and maybe just hit the Etsy sellers, or maybe just hit the Etsy buyers. Like there's different angles you can go into that. But long story short, to answer your question, I don't think you need to delete your channel. I think you just need to feed the content with exactly what angle you want to go down. Right. Yep. And then it might take a month, it might take 2 months. It might take less. Like You just need to give as much information to YouTube to let them know this is the audience I want to be in front of. Put me in front of them.
Yep. And just one last one here, Puppy Quest. I started a faith-based channel based on shorts and switched to long format. I only have one 12,000 view video. The rest only get 100 to 200 views. Should I try to start a new channel focused on long form? No, exactly what we just said, right? It's just, you have to then go, okay, I'm going to pretend like I'm going to focus on the one area that I want to get attention in. And that's it. And then you're going to attack it from 100 different angles. Okay. 100 different angles. Right? If you're helping someone with firearms like John is, he's talking about accuracy. He's going to talk about accuracy in about 25 different angles. Okay. Then he's going to talk about maybe like something about, shooting on the range or something, right? Or, certain ways to, or what's the best distance to accurately train for whatever, or something else, right? So he's going to find these other pockets. But in the very beginning, you're going to find one and you're just going to drive that thing super deep. Okay. All right. Let's show the other thing here. And that was, he sent us this last night. All right. So I want to share this because 64,200, okay, views, 2,800 watch time hours, and 883 subscribers. Now, the reason why I wanted to share this, these numbers are amazing, right? And it's only a month old. People want to know, like, how do I get monetized? How do I get to watch time hours? How do I get to subscribers? This is one video. He's almost at 3,000 watch hours of the 4,000 that you would need to get monetized. And he's almost at 1,000 subscribers. We've got videos on this channel that if all we did was create that one video, it would have gotten us monetized. We've got probably 4 right now that have exceeded 4,000 watch hours, have exceeded 1,000 subscribers. So understand that, yes, it's not going to happen on your first video. Probably it could, but it's probably not. But what's going to happen is you're going to find that you're going to start to slowly see one that got like 400 views, one that got 800 views. Then you might get one that all of a sudden it takes off, right? And it gets 30,000 views. And then you might, your next one might get 1,000, might get 800. It's going to flip-flop back and forth a little bit. But then what you do is when you get a video like this, you're like, okay, what was it about? Oh, it was about accuracy. Okay, cool. I'm going to do more on accuracy and see what happens. Okay. And that's what he's done here. But my point in sharing this is, number one, congratulate John, right? Just for all the hard work that he's done. It's been amazing. And also allowing us to share it with you for inspiration. But just to realize that if you're doing shorts, you ain't getting this, right? You might get more views, but number one, we all know shorts do not get you watch time hours. Okay. They get you subscribers. I'll give you that. It just ain't the right subscribers, right? For a long form channel. If all you want to do is shorts, that's fine. But I mean, you need millions of views to make any kind of money. And that's if you're only doing AdSense money. All right. So I would rather have way less subscribers, but watch 3 to 5 minutes of my videos consistently versus having 1 million that only watch 20 seconds, right? Because they're on to the next. Okay. So just something to think about. All right. And let us know in the comments. Are you right now posting shorts? Let us know. All right, Scotty, couple more questions quick, and then we got to jump. I still got to get ready for tomorrow. I'm still working on the content for tomorrow. I've got probably another few hours on that, and I'll have a little bit of time tomorrow. But if you guys want to join us tomorrow, make sure that you put workshop in the comments. Or if you're watching this later, you can probably just go to the description and it might be in there. And if you're missing that because it's past the 19th, still go there. We'll probably have the next one up that we're going to do, which is going to be probably around maybe every two weeks to 4 weeks, depending. And every time we do it, it'll be live. So you can ask questions and stuff like that. All right. So, Scotty, did we have any quick questions that we wanted to get to?
There's one. Have you noticed more activity on your channel after doing live videos? I mean, nothing drastic that I'd say, oh yeah, make sure you're doing live videos. Like, I think it's good. More the fact of like, when we're coming on here every week to do a live, it's not to really grow the channel. Like, yeah, it'd be great if like a video took off and whatever, But honestly, it's more of we're building that relationship with you guys and we're giving you value in a different way that's more authentic. Because you could watch our videos all day and you could be like, yeah, well, you say that behind a screen, but you don't, say that to us like with live questions or really see our thought process, how we really speak to you. Because how many people can hide behind a camera and speak a different way, and then when they speak on, a live, it's totally different, right? So it's kind of more of having that transparency with our community. It's not really for the growth. Again, would it be amazing if a video took off? Absolutely. Have you done that on other channels? Absolutely.
Yeah.
We had that really happen on here? No, we've had a couple of videos get 1,000 views on it. Maybe some subscribers here and there. Does it help with the outreach? Like a little bit, but it's nothing like where I'm like, yeah, make sure you do lives because you're going to get 1,000 subscribers if you do that. Like, it's not like that. It's more of, we want to build that, that relationship with you. So that way, number one, our KLT method, you can know, like, and trust us because we're being 100% our authentic selves. We're answering your questions. We're giving you value. Someone actually put, which I'm going to highlight because I want to say thank you for posting this. Said, you two have a way of delivering the context in a very digestible way. And thank you for sharing your expertise with us small or starting up creators. So number one, I appreciate you for that. So I'm going to shout you out. But also that's why we're doing this, right? Like, we want it to be as easy as possible. There's no gatekeeping over here. Like a lot of channels where they're just going to tell you a little bit and then they're going to try to sell you something. Like, it's not, we're trying to give you as much free as you can. You could literally just go on our channel and just learn as much as you can. Now, do we go more in depth on like a workshop and stuff? Absolutely. Like, we are going to go more in depth because we just can't put it all out there, because there's so much to go over and it's hard for different situations and stuff. But for what we're doing on here and what we're sharing with you is like John, for example, that's something that would really happen. That's proof that happened from someone that's not us. That's someone that it was in our 1K collective that we can share with you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do want to go and kind of highlight we're basically right now, this is the R in the ARM method that we talk about in the 100K, roadmap, right? It's the R. The first is the A, which is attention, then it's relationship building, and then it comes the money, right? And so right now, like, we're just doing this as a way to show up and help and serve, right? And then we know that this might get a little bit of push, maybe a little bit of reach, but it's mainly for either subscribers or people that have never interacted with us before. So you get to kind of know our personalities. You get to see like our teaching style. Like, if you want to, go further, go on another date, right? Like, it's like a way for us to kind of get to know each other, and there's no scripts. It's just Scotty and I just sharing, right? And that's what we're doing here. We're just showing up. And the same thing in the community tab. The community tab has been amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
If any of you guys are sleeping on the community tab, please don't. If you want to see how we're using the community tab, go to the community tab and just look through it, right? And just see what we're doing, right? We're doing surveys. We're doing questions. We're doing standard posts. We're doing behind the scenes stuff. We're doing, we got a workshop coming up. We'll talk about that, right? We're giving away our hooks download or our 100K. We're building our email list. There's a whole bunch of different things that we're doing inside of the community, which is another relationship building piece. All right. So with that all being said, and Cynthia and Cheryl said, no brainer workshop. Everyone go sign up. It'll be well worth time spent. Thank you. And Cynthia is part of our 1K collective. So I appreciate that. Cynthia and Cheryl says, okay, good to know. Yeah. So anyway, that's what we wanted to share today. Was this valuable? Did you guys, number one, did you learn anything? Did you maybe think a little bit differently now about shorts, or maybe about your content strategy? Let us know in the comments. Also, let us know what else would you like us to discuss? What else would you like help with? Because we always want to hear, right? We always want to hear what is going to help you. And if we can do it, we will. Oh, Scotty, we should say this too. We do a podcast every Sunday. We answer subscriber questions on a voicemail, and those voicemails of the people, phoning in, they also can get a little shout out. And we're not charging for shout outs, by the way. Okay. We're not going down that road. We're not going to put out the video that said we just made 5,000 because we did shout outs. Ain't doing that. All right. So we won't ever do that.
Yeah.
Here's the deal too. I want to say this little warning. Please do not pay for someone to shout out your channel. It could actually hurt you versus help you. If people sign up for your channel just because they want to do it out of the kindness of their heart, but they're never going to watch a video, here's what's going to happen. That impression's going to come up and they're going to skip right by it and they're not going to click on it. You know what's going to happen to your click-through rate? It's going to go down. And then guess what's going to happen? The algorithm is going to go, they don't like this content. They don't like the content you're putting out. Be careful. All right. And so, yeah. Speakpipe.com/live video school. Scotty just had it up. If you want to leave us a voicemail, 90 seconds. Speakpipe.com/live video school. Scotty and I sit down at the creator's lunch table, which is upstairs in my bonus room. It's our little podcast studio. And we do some pretty cool stuff up there. So if you haven't listened to one of those episodes, make sure that you do. It's in the playlist under podcast. And if you go there, we're also on Spotify and on iTunes. Make sure that you do that. Our little lunch table crew, it's growing. It's growing. We've got a bunch of people that show up, and I think right now we're averaging well over 1,000 views and listens on each of those.
Cynthia said, "Take action. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
If you know, you know."
Absolutely.
We're just keep it at that.
You're part of the crew. Let's just say that.
You're part of the insiders, creators, lunch table.
There's a lot of ways you can know you're in. It's almost like the password. You get to the table and you got to get the password to sit down, or else we won't let you sit down. You could learn it. I'll give you a little hint. Stay to the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
Stay to the end. That's all I'm going to say. I want to say one more thing, because I feel like we had a lot of people in here that had we call our aha moment. Mm-hmm. Okay. If you had an aha moment today, put aha in the comments. I don't care how you spell it. Put aha in the comments, because that's the one thing that I feel like, that has happened for us. Here, real quick, I want you to share. Now, this is different from YouTube, but I want you to share yours, Dad, and when you had your first aha moment and where it came from. And I'll give you a hint. It was someone on TV. No, you don't know where I'm going with this?
No, you got to give me more than
Starts
that.
with an O.
Oh, yeah. That was actually, that was crazy.
Yeah, this changed your life. So
yeah. It was basically Oprah. Basically had an episode on, and my wife, she saw that Oprah had said something about like doing something that you're passionate about, or taking a risk or something. And then my wife came to me and said, and this is when I was still working construction, and she was like, I'd like to start taking, photography or not taking, but doing photography for kids, because we had young kids and stuff, and she really liked it. And she was always pretty good with like a disposable camera, but she's like, so she kind of figured it out. But long story short is we ended up starting a part-time photography business and got that thing to be pretty successful, that I left my job 18 months later. And then from there, we did that for about 7 years. And then from there, I started teaching online how to basically use Photoshop, also how to run a photography business, all that stuff. And then that's what started my online career about 16 years ago, almost 17 years ago is when I made my first dollar online. And that was it. The rest is history. So that was the aha there, was like, wow. Like, imagine if we didn't do that. Like, imagine if my wife didn't have that light bulb, then all the other light bulbs wouldn't have went on. Right. So yeah, that was pretty crazy.
We had I have a big aha in there. Totally. Good. Aha. Where do we find the No Brainer Workshop? That is in the description. If you guys want to be a part of that, it's a free workshop we're doing tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time. You can either comment workshop, but this live we will be ending soon. So also will be in the description. So you can go ahead and check that out as well. Again, it's free workshop. We're going to be going into detail. You're not even ready for what we have. Like what we talked about today, it doesn't even scratch the surface of what we have in that. The value you're going to get from just coming to that. We had people, we should have had a screenshot up of this. We had a couple people that were there last time, and they literally said, this workshop, people would have paid hundreds of dollars for,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's not out of our mouth. That is
Mm-hmm.
people that came onto the workshop that said that without us saying anything. So
Yep.
they obviously saw the value in it. I believe you will get the same value out as well, especially now that we kind of tweak some things and are really making it where it's no brainer for you guys. Like we want to have real big aha moments and stuff that you can apply at the end of that video.
Yep. Yeah. Mama says, I have completely pivoted my page after starting to watch your videos last week. So the value for me is 100% there. And that's awesome. And I got a question for you. When did you discover us? How long have you been in the live video school bubble, I guess we'll call it? I'm just curious. And then, yeah, thanks. Thank you. I was just going to ask about changing niches. Yeah, we already covered that, but yeah, I mean, the big thing here is like, if you're going to do it, you have to understand that it's going to take time to retrain the algorithm. When I was retraining the algorithm for my other channel, Brand Creators, it was all about Amazon, because that's what I was doing at the time. That's what I built this pretty good size audience and podcast around. And then I decided that I wanted to pivot. And then it took effort and strategy to basically do that. And we had a big shift come with that. And that's where this whole new channel came about, because we had that aha moment ourselves and a big shift, which we're going to talk about that tomorrow night on that workshop as well. So we'll go into depth on that. I discovered you 2 weeks ago. Well, thank you. Thank you for being here. Let's see here. We'll be there. You have better information than others on being successful on YouTube. I found you in the start of February, I believe. That's awesome. Thank you, Epic Destiny. Appreciate that. All right, cool. So yeah, so we do got to run. I am going to get back to work. I got some stuff I got to get prepared for tomorrow night. And then tomorrow is going to be the big day, in 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll probably get on about 5 or 10 minutes early. We welcome people in. People come from all over the world. The last time I think we had about 600 people registered. We had about 200 people show up live. So yeah, I think it's going to be bigger this time. So anyway, if you want to come hang out with us and learn how to get more views, show up tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, February 19th. If you're watching this later, you can still go to the link that you're going to find in the description, because there will probably be another one in the future, and you can come join us there, and we'd love to have you. All right. So that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and get after it, will you? And we'll see you tomorrow night, hopefully. Take care, guys.